Hey guys, Paul here with PT Business Tip number 7. So, let's just go through all of these again. This series is been quite long, but very, very valuable for you. So, the first thing we need to do is get good at the delivery of our craft. Be really good at training people. Then we need to have professionalism and standards. Personal development comes after that. Then we build systems and processes. From there, we get results and we demonstrate them through our marketing and our lead generation, which we start with organic referrals and then start going into paid advertising, which I recommend you outsource unless you want to learn all about it because it's incredibly complex and incredibly competitive. Now we're going to look at sales and our income as our next component of having a successful business. And the reason why I say sales and income is it's a part of running a training business that a lot of PTs struggle with. I mentor a number of PTs, and a bunch of them struggle with sales, which is fairly normal. It doesn't come in their nature. A bunch of them struggle with income and actually getting paid what they deserve for their work they do, like asking people for credit card details and things of that nature when they're putting clients on a direct debit program. So I wanted to just touch on both of these different things here. The first point that I want to make is sales is not unethical. It's how we get people to commit to making a change, which they're going to do via our service. We have no problem paying money for services, so we don't need to feel bad when people want to pay money for our service or when we need to charge money for our service. So sales is actually what we do every day in every single transaction verbally with our customers and our clients because we're selling them on the benefits of the barbell squat or the bench press or the core exercise that we're doing. We're selling them on the benefits of changing their nutrition or using a food diary. We're selling them on the benefits of having a better relationship with food. Everything we do is selling. It's just that sometimes it doesn't have a financial reward for us. It's part of what they're already paying for. So if we remember that selling is simply getting someone to make a change, and sometimes there's an exchange of money for that, it's a much easier way to go about it. Sales has really been soiled by the always be closing Glengarry, Glen Ross, like cliched approach of sales, like close, 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 call, call, call. The really high pressure sales environment that a lot of people get sucked into when they do start doing PT sales, and they get caught in the rush of how many people they close. They don't think of whether they're the right people that they need to close, and are they the right service provider for that person, and do they have all the systems in place to actually deliver what they promised to that client on the phone or in person or whatever. So if you have all the above systems that I've talked about, the previous 6, it's a really good place to be for sales. Income is a direct outcome of how many sales that you make. So what all PTs should be doing is looking at their sales percentages. So for each consult you get, whether it's a paid lead, if you're doing phone sales and stuff like that, whether it's an in-person, like a triple pack, like a trial session or whatever it is, have a look at how many of those you have versus how many convert into clients, and then you can get a very easy idea of your sales percentage or your closing rate. And a lot of people have a really high volume of people they contact with a moderately high closing rate. I would rather have a low volume of people come in with a really high closing rate. A lot of the time, if you're doing tons and tons of sales, what happens is the quality of your interaction goes down very, very quickly. And you start promising things that you can't keep because you've got so many calls throughout the day. It's kind of a rush. I closed 5 or 6 calls today. If you're doing one-on-one PT, you cannot grow your business at that rate sustainably because you won't be able to provide all the other things that you've promised that client, and you're going to lose that client. And once your reputation's tarnished, it's tarnished with that person. One of the things I pride myself on is how long my clients stay with me and how when people leave, how they come back. I had a client who I hadn't trained for maybe 3 to 4 years, I think, come back about a month ago actually. Just called me out the blue. Hey Paul, really want to do some training. You're the first person that I thought of. Fantastic, let's get started. That was 100% sales conversion ratio for that day, but it was great because the reputation wasn't there. So sales, work out how many consults you do, how many free sessions you do, work out how many of them become ongoing clients, look at the conversion ratio. If it's low, it's something that your personal development needs to address. Now, income is the next one. So first thing is we need to be very okay with the fact that we want to have a high income. A lot of people have a lot of guilt around money. A lot of people feel like they don't deserve it, it's all crap. If you're providing good service, you do deserve good money. Again, look at your relationship with wealth, with your personal development, because if you have a better relationship with money, a better relationship with finances, you will earn more money because you'll be happy charging what you're worth. And a whole bunch of other stuff will happen, but we're not going to get into the whys of that. With our income, we should be tracking it on a weekly basis and being aware that as a PT, we will have fluctuations in place because people will go away, people will get sick, etc., etc., etc. So track your income and make it as simple as possible to obtain. So what I recommend here is we go right back to our systems and processes. We should have direct debit systems in place to collect money to then help build our income. And the more people you have in direct debit, the higher your income is going to go. So again, a lot of trainers don't want to do direct debit because they want to get cash payments or take upfront things and get like that big wad of cash. And it doesn't ever work in the long run. It's what happens there is people will skip sessions, they won't pay cancellation fees, it gets really messy really quickly, and it's really hard to track. Get a direct debit system, get it to deposit into your bank account, and then setting up through your bookkeeper or something like Xero or anything like that, a very easy process to start distributing your money to the areas that you need, whether it's a wage that you can live on, superannuation and tax, and then profit is left over from that. Hopefully there's profit, and then you can build that up because you will need to have money in reserve if you do want to go into building a gym. If you should also have money put aside for if you get sick or you get injured. There's also income insurance to get. But all these things are really, really important to have in place because we need to remember you're not a trainer, you're a business. So a business needs to have these things in place to pay the rent, to do all this kind of stuff. And once you do all that, if you have that and you set up and you got like a couple months in reserve and you're already ahead of the game, you're going to feel a higher degree of certainty. You're going to feel much more confident in delivering your craft and getting better rather than worrying about, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay rent today. So have a very real and honest look at your sales ratio and your income and how those things can be improved. Because unless we ask the questions, we're not going to know the solutions. We're just going to be running around with our heads cut off. We're just going to be doing everything under the sun. We're not going to be thinking about what are the right systems and processes that we need to do to get the right outcomes for our clients. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the last one in this podcast series where we're going to talk about the thing that ties it all together. Thanks a lot and speak soon.